I'm out of breath. Hello, people. Almost forgot to make this video, which would have been a farce, as they say. I think a cat's trying to get in. Get on, cat. So, we're here in my mom's living room, and for the last half year, I've been collecting donations for Aaron English's African Youth Music Project. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. So Aaron English is an amazing songwriter that you know from my channel, and you will know from the upcoming songwriting course because we've interviewed him. And Aaron has been to Africa, to Kenya, to Uganda, to orphanages, teaching music there, and founded this organization, the African Youth Music Project, which apparently is I'm going to call it subdivision of one Vibe Afrika, which is run by Simon in Seattle, and there's lots of people involved. So they always look for instruments to donate to orphanages in Uganda and Kenya. Getting goosebumps, it's a cool story. I'll show you some clips later. And I said, look, I know all these companies, let's get stuff. So I called a whole bunch of companies, not all of which responded. Some of them that I really had hopes in didn't, but some people really came through and said, look, I've got Harley Bentons here, I've got so many guitars, and I've got so many fans that would be willing to donate stuff. Let's do it. And so I started with my stuff, looking what I had, made a list, and then got some stuff from other companies, which I'll show you. And this stuff is what has to get to Kenya. How does it get down there? Well, the Goethe Institute, German organization, I think Goethe is a guy that stands around like this and says things that rhyme, I guess. Some old dude, I don't know. But they are sponsoring all the pallets, complete shipping to Kenya down there, to Nairobi. They take care of all the customs and everything for us. Super, super cool. Thank you, Niklas from the Goethe Institute. And today is the day where we pack it up to go to Wiesbaden, where it's going to be stored temporarily. And the problem with asking you guys to send in stuff, which we might be doing next year, is someone has to receive it. It might get stuck in customs somewhere if it comes from some other country. It's just a whole bunch of logistics. I know you guys would totally send us your Harley Bentons, your keyboards, your old mic, your mixer, your audio interface, your trumpet, your recorder, your flute, which is the same thing. You know what I'm talking about. But I said we can't do this right now. I got Gear Street coming up in 4 weeks. These things need to move out of the house. My mom's coming back and we are in my mom's living room. So this stuff needs to move now. So next year, hopefully we'll employ your generous offers, which I know you want to send us. But for now, I packed up 13 of my own guitars. And let me show you what we have. We have stuff out in the truck already. When Aaron is on tour, people give him stuff and say, you know, take this, get it to Africa, which is going to get it to Africa. That's such an easy thing to do. Thank you, Niklas from the Goethe Institute. So he collects stuff, drops it off here. We have beautiful recorders, you know, stuff like this. But let me show you what we got. I have a whole bunch of stuff from my days where I was working with Joyo. That's Walter, by the way, who was going to generously drive the stuff to Wiesbaden. So here is a huge pile of Joyo stuff. That's an amp, that's a karaoke system, that's a bigger karaoke system, that's a big-ass truck driver pedal board, this is another big-ass pedal board in a massive case. We got a practice amp, Aaron got this from someone donated, that's a bass amp, that's another speaker, there's a tube amp down there. We have hundreds of tuners and metronomes. We have, look, a pedal power supply, because you know what, people in Africa need to power their pedals. We have literally hundreds of cables because maybe they want to modulate, and I don't even know what else is done. It's a huge pile of stuff from Joyo. In my times when I worked with Joyo, this was stuff that they had at the trade shows. They stored it here. We don't need it anymore. It's occupying space. It's going to Africa. Keyboard stands that Ernie sent in. This is stuff that my friend Michiel, thank you Michiel, from Belgium collected and gave to Aaron when Aaron was in Belgium on tour. Thank you so much to Dan from Ibanez for giving us guitar boxes, because I had the guitars that I wanted to send, but you can't send them without boxes. So Ibanez graciously, when I was down there, loaded up my car with guitar boxes. So a lot of this stuff is mine, but a lot of, I don't know where they are, a lot of other things. There's Yamaha. Oh, Yamaha too. Yamaha sent 2 or 3 guitars, something like this. Really cool acoustics. iMusic Network sent beautiful Stanford guitars. Thank you so much. I mean, they had guitars where the truss rod can't be adjusted anymore. Who cares? In Africa, they're putting fishing wire on it as strings. So the next thing I'm gonna get on is get those kids some freaking strings. I know some string manufacturers that will want to support us. So if you're a string manufacturer, write to me. We're getting strings to Africa because those kids should not play with freaking fishing line. So thank you iMusic Network for the amazing Stanford guitars. Keely, Sebo, Tony, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Peter from Yamaha, for sending the Yamaha guitars. That's really cool. And Dan did not just give me cardboard boxes. No, the freaking maniac sent ridiculous amounts of Ibanez. There's a cat. Ibanez hollow bodies, like good ones. He sent ridiculous AAD acoustics that are just reviewed in nice gig bags. I don't get them in gig bags, but apparently the Africans are getting them in gig bags. That's cool. Amazing acoustic guitars. Look at this pile of Ibanez goodness here. That's Ibanez Ortega. There's more Stanford Ortega. So really, I mean, I think this guitar, yeah, that's like $1,000. So, you know, some kids can be very happy. And not just that, because Minor also does great percussion. They sent, well, Leslie already moved one of them. Cajon, this is an amazing conga. There was a djembe and 2 Artisans edition cajons. These things are really nice. I don't know what's wrong with it. It might have been played at a gig somewhere, so they can't sell it anymore. It's still in perfect condition. So thank you, Minor. Thank you, Dan, for being absolutely generous. I called many people, and you guys came through, and I will not forget that. And you know what? The kids will not forget that. Talking about the kids, let's play you some clips from Africa to see where the stuff goes. And if this doesn't warm your heart, how this music gets the kids off the street, gives them a purpose, gives them a direction in life. You know, your old Harley Benton could literally change some kids' trajectory of where they're going. So let's look at that for a second.
I'm Aaron English. I'm a touring singer-songwriter based in Seattle. In April and May 2015, I traveled in Kenya and Uganda. I wrote and recorded music with African musicians, slept out in the desert and in the jungle, got face-to-face with lions and mountain gorillas, visited remote tribes, climbed glacier-covered mountains, and went whitewater rafting on the Nile. But primarily what I did was work with orphanages and HIV/AIDS positive youth organizations to help them develop music programs. Now, I'm a touring songwriter for a living. I don't know how to build houses or schools, or give people medicine, or deliver babies, or teach people how to sow or to harvest. But I do know music, and there are 5 million orphans in Kenya and Uganda. Music can give these kids an opportunity to express themselves and be heard. It can get them off the streets, out of the slums, and away from the gangs and the warlords. It can teach them marketable skills like music production. It can bring them comfort and joy. Learning music has been proven to accelerate brain development and improve concentration and memory. Most importantly, music can give these kids pride by connecting them to their roots, their cultural identity. So I traveled to each of these places in Kenya and Uganda, helping in various ways. I taught workshops to youth in the slums on how to thrive as an independent artist. I brought an electric piano to one orphanage in Uganda and gave the kids keyboard lessons. They all started calling me Uncle Piano. I'm now raising funds back in the States so that music lessons can continue at that orphanage. I recorded an album for Nazizi, who is Kenya's first and biggest female music star. They call her the First Lady or the Queen of East African radio. We are donating all proceeds from that album back to the youth music program where we did the recording. I connected a Ugandan AIDS relief agency to an American organization in Baltimore. They are now working together to build a music center for HIV/AIDS positive kids. Now that I'm back in North America, I've been collecting donated instruments, music lesson books, studio equipment, and funds for music lessons, and I'm having it all shipped to these organizations that I worked with. And I'm raising funds to start a drum and dance ensemble at one of these orphanages. These orphans would be given traditional instruments and training to learn the music and dance of their tribe. They would then be able to earn money for themselves and for the orphanage by being hired to play weddings and special occasions all over their kingdom. So, I've started a non-profit to help organize these various programs and to collect donations of money and musical instruments. It's called International Youth Music Project. When I'm not out on tour or in the recording studio with my own music, this is what I'm working on. I'm very excited for these kids I'm working with. They're smart. They're growing up with the internet and with smartphones, so they know what's up in the world, and they deserve the opportunity to choose their own futures. I hope that these music programs can help empower them to do so. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support.
I want to be a choreographer. I want to be a producer. I can produce other people's music, plus also my music because I also sing. My name is Mary Fiona. I'm 18 years old. I come from Uganda. I'm a dancer. I sing. I also play the guitar. I grew up in an orphanage called KCC, Kampala Children's Center. I lost my parents when I was around 1 year old. Most of the kids that were brought at the center were brought when they're still kids, still young. So we grew up as sisters and brothers. We had 12 houses where each house had like 8 kids and a mother and an assistant. So most times on the visitation days, I used to have no one to come and visit me at school, and this would really hurt because I would always sit alone in class and then I look at the kids having fun time with their relatives. This was really a hard time for me. I started doing music when I was 7 years. Since then I kept on doing music, and music has enabled me to travel to different countries, meeting new people, making new friends, performing in different places. In music production, I've so far learned how to produce beats, how to record a song or how to record a voice. In 2 to 3 years, I want to build my own studio, can record my own music and also other people's music. All I can tell them is to believe in themselves and to have confidence.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night. Spread my wings and fly away.
Venye sikujua kuimba, saizi naweza imba. Sikujua kupiga gitaa, saizi naweza piga gitaa. Tangu ningi hapa Vibe bishanisaidia almost 2 years. Sikujua time mwenyewe naweza jua kuimba, kupiga gitaa, but venye niliingia Vibe nikajua.
Specifically najua kucheza keyboard and brass na more basics za piano and kuimba vocally. Imenifunza venye naweza jitransport from a different key to another one.
Tuepuke makundi misina budi. Kitu inalack Vibe rehearsal space hizi, kitu tunatamani sana zibadilishwe ni keyboard. Hatuna sustainer cause kuna some of the songs inahitaji ma feelings, so keyboard inahitaji sustainers. Tunadai new repairs of microphones. These ones zimeharibika, zinafungwa na sellotape, so tutaka something good, something inaleta sound poa. Alafu ground, kuna mashimo zingine kwa ground it's difficult for us to clean because kuna mchanga mingi sana. Alafu we need some guitars because hatuna guitar hapa saizi. Guitar tulikuwa nayo iliharibika, so we need some of semi-acoustic and even acoustic. We need lead guitar, bass guitar, itatusaidia sana. Alafu pia drum sets, pia kuna part of it imeharibika. Yeah.
Nikiongelea Vibe, it has really created an impact in my life. Kwanza hapa ndo nimeanzia, unapata hapa ndo nilianza vocals, first recording nikafanya hapa, so it's really great in my life. But challenges pia naweza sema tuna lack kutoka guitar, ziko less, instrumentals, ground floor unapata somehow imeshaharibika, so nataka some changes pia.
So this is what we're doing. It's all moving out today, and I'm sorry I didn't involve you guys. I want to, but it requires someone to be at home for probably 2 to 3 weeks at a time, dealing with customs, exchanging emails with you to find things out. It is a full-time job for someone for 2 or 3 weeks, which I did not have time for. Aaron was on tour, now he's back in the US. So maybe next year we're doing another push. But we need to find someone that can accept these instruments. And once you guys start sending, we don't know how many. This isn't a one-room thing. It can turn into all of a sudden a massive thing, and all of it needs to go to Africa. So this is why I didn't ask you. I will ask you at some point to support these kids. But for now, this is what we have. This is going to Kenya. Thanks for watching. Hey, Amaro.
Yeah.
How are you involved in all of this?
I'm the neighbor and I'm working for DHL.
So you know how to do box
I have a
Tetris.
day off, but I have no day off.
So you sadly just walked by when we were loading up,
Yes.
and I said, "Do your job, Mr. Tetris Man."
Yes.
Thank you.
Wrong moment.
Thank you, Mao. Also, Mao is on the team for 42 Gear Street. He's the supervisor for the living room studio. So that's how he's also involved. The supervisor, yes. We gotta catch the cat. You guys have been awesome. Thanks, Simon, Nicholas, the whole team. Thanks, Walter, Ernie, everyone, Lavender, all of you guys. You've been great. Well, enough said. Now animals at the end.
You believe it's worth it? We're tired of fighting and breaking our hearts, and everything we worship is reducing to rubble and falling apart. Let's not go back to where we started. You believe it's over? It hasn't been like before, and I don't think it will. It's time to slowly get sober. Like an addict who will long for the magical pill.